More than one person,
Steve.
Yeah.
like a,
Hi, Steve.
Yeah, but well, it's for cremations.
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
we at time?
Just the
We
cremation
are.
vaults.
Yay.
And then we have, oh yeah, they're all 700. From what I heard, we are like a huge amount below our competitors on everything.
Well, I'm supposed to tell you, speaking of Helena, Greg's wanting to meet with you, but I just said, you think it's pretty busy and
All
he's trying to get in.
Yeah.
Are we all ready to start this baby up?
Think so.
All right. We're at time, so
Oh, yes.
this is the thing.
Do you have any extras?
No, because I emailed them to everybody
Oh,
Yeah,
last week.
not this stuff.
This is his.
Oh,
yeah, that.
Yeah, you did, and I didn't print it out. I looked at it.
Oh, God, we're
Bad Susan.
fired.
I
all right.
actually can bring it up. on phone.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. 'Cause it's- oh.
The March meeting of the Crook County Cemetery District will now come to order. I see that directors Bedortha and Hermrick are here, so we have quorum. So let's get this thing started. Shara is unable to attend today. Obviously it's tax season and she's buried, but she is online listening to us. So if we have any questions, we can probably ask her that way. I would ask that you guys speak up. We have the closed captioning turned on today for our meeting to meet compliance. But if you mumble, it doesn't always record the correct whatever it was you said.
you want me to enunciate my words
Yes,
better?
please. Don't mumble. All right, so I guess we will start with the approval of the meeting minutes from last month. Which I forgot to bring.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from last month.
I will email them to you guys. I am so sorry.
Oh, so we didn't get the minutes on the.
I left them sitting at home on my counter with my some
Well,
other
then
stuff.
I don't make the minutes.
Okay,
don't
I
make the motion.
I will email them to you. You guys can go through them. We will vote on that.
Okay.
Next. Can't
Oh,
believe
you're
I left
right,
those
because
sitting.
your attachment here is for the news media.
I can't believe I left those sitting on the counter.
I'll make
My
a
bad.
motion that we put off the minute signing till the next regular meeting.
Works for me. Let's see, I will bring up. I was late getting here today, so I'm not quite got everything open yet. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was right here, but.
All right. So, the next thing on our agenda is approval of the bills. Which Gary has signed off on, so I make a motion that we approve the bills.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
From my guy.
Bedortha, aye.
Jamie Wood, aye. Motion passes, the bills are approved. Sheriff said, like I said, she's not here today and she had a software glitch. So she will be emailing us the financial reports when she gets her software back up. So I will turn it over to Mr. Craig.
So, since last meeting, we've had 6 burials, 2, or 4, 4 were full, 2 ashes. 4 of the, burials were at Juniper Haven, which was, the 2 ashes and 2 fulls. 2 fulls were conducted at Powell Butte. It was an interesting one, just to say the least. It was a couple. The wife died on the day of her husband's funeral, and so we had to cancel it and postpone it till the next week. And we did a double burial. It was a lot of work.
Wow.
So, yeah, hadn't done that before. And we're not set up for that typically, like
I have a stupid question probably. How long were they married to each other?
forever.
Yeah, interesting how that
And
happened.
she was very, like, I mean, I thought she'd live to like be 110 because she was feisty when she came in and met with me. So,
Yeah,
and she's very, yeah, like she looked like in great shape.
Yeah.
And she just passed in her sleep the night before
Oh.
of the funeral. So
Wow.
it was kind of interesting. I mean, it was neat, but
no, it
it's
is.
unfortunate,
It is
unfortunate, but it was kind of neat situation.
No, that was good that they got
And
to go together.
they lived right across the street from Powell Butte Cemetery, like literally, like right, you could almost see their house if it wasn't for the trees. And they had to, she told her kids and me that if we got it wrong, she would haunt us until we died. Like, but that the burial had to be him and her a certain way. And, I don't think we had it right the first time, like with just his.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, yeah, but I mean, they were neat. The family was real.
Not often you get a second.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, not at all. And that, it was opposite. Typically, you burial, like you're facing the east, watching the sun rise. They laid in their bed facing the mountains, and that's how they wanted to be buried, which was opposite.
Hmm.
So flipped around. So it was interesting. It was,
Different.
but other than that, we have been, I know last month and month prior, trying to get to the trees and branches and whatnot. We've been doing the low stuff when we can around services. We just haven't rented any equipment. Haven't had good weather for any significant amount of time to do so. Still looking into different, equipment, like flatbed for the truck. I also, we did have there's certain weights that say, how can I say this? We had a truck sink during a service. No one was there or after, yeah.
Ground was soft.
So it's it's a lot of rain, real soft. It sunk. I mean, we had to go get equipment to pull it out.
Yeah.
Which then I'm so glad nobody was there, family wise, but we took care of it, but it made me start looking at other options too, that I'm gonna look into. Like, I know the big thing is, trailers, like having a trailer that you can actually back in and you can twist the bed around. I've seen it through one of the companies. And then that way we wouldn't need a big heavy truck to back that in. We could probably use a golf cart, honestly. But I'm looking into that kind of stuff, just for future, making it a little bit easier on the grounds for sure. Cause that's not the first time that it's happened that I've been there. And I mean, we're still plugging away at Powell Butte, the expansion over there. It's just getting up there with all three of us guys, and equipment has been really difficult just because,
I was gonna say, it probably really muddy.
well, yeah, and the weather just hasn't really been good for it. Neither with Howard either. So we put that off another month to do the cleanup up there. So that's in a nutshell, that's about it.
I will say Susan and I did just kind of a quick site check, up at the cemetery on Friday because we didn't do one last fall. There was too much stuff going on to do it. One of the things that we did see that I'm going to, ask the board for approval for and, put you in charge of, Craig, is, some of the safety equipment up there looked road worn. I mean, it's still functional, but yet, it's starting to show its age. So, I would ask that, I would make a motion that the board approve, the replacement of all the safety equipment and just make it, newer before it does fail.
Upgrade.
Yeah, just an upgrade.
I think you need a fire extinguisher in all three of the shops.
Yeah.
You have one that is in the shop attached to the office.
Mhm.
So I think you need to be sure to get 3 new extinguishers. The eye wash station, I don't know that you necessarily need. I'm not sure how that works. I know you will probably need one in the shop where you do with the tools,
Mhm.
but in the other ones, I don't think you need to.
Yeah.
I don't see that as a requirement, but I do believe the fire extinguisher should be done. So if that is your motion, I will second that motion.
All those in favor?
Hermrick, aye.
It's worth the eye.
Wood, aye. Motion passes. So go ahead and take care of that for us, Craig.
Yep.
Okay.
Let us know when you get it done.
Okay.
Yeah, Craig and I stopped in this morning and I just briefly touched on some of the things we found, not everything. I just kind of said, these things are looking a little, they're starting to show their age. They're still okay, but they're showing their age. So let's get these updated and all shiny and new. Okay, the website is the next thing on our hit parade. As you guys know, we had some issue getting stuff here. I did finally manage to get some stuff. Susan sent me her stuff right away. Gary didn't have a biography or a photograph, but I'm a Google nut. Guess what? Your picture's on the website.
Alright, that'll let you get it up and going.
Yeah, I don't have a biography, so if you can get me that whenever you get time.
But it
Miss,
doesn't preclude you from getting it up and going.
no.
Okay.
Hey, Jamie, is
main,
that back when Gary had a mullet?
yeah, that was back when Gary had a mullet.
Hey.
Um,
Steve on the
Who
phone.
is
now.
that on the? is it-
Steve.
Oh, okay.
So,
You will show up in a meeting one of these days. Remember that, Steve.
let me bring.
I didn't know we were supposed to put our senior portraits on.
So this is, let me turn this around. I would share my screen, but then these guys couldn't see it. This is your landing page. That's the home page.
Very pretty picture.
Now, one thing I need, here's our locations. So you have Juniper Haven, you have Pal Butte, it has a map with directions. You have Beaver Creek, Howard. I cannot find any coordinates for Maury Cemetery. That is,
Howard, is that really what Howard looks like?
no, these are all stock photos.
Oh, I was gonna say the flowers. I think I want to get rid of my
Absolutely,
plot
I'm
at Beaver
just-
Creek and I'll go to Howard. It's beautiful, yeah.
I had to pull stock photos for everything because we didn't have any photography. They're just mainly there as placekeepers. We can replace them in the future. But Maury Cemetery is not on here because I could not find it.
Well, we can probably show you on a map. You and I could, I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Um,
Point to it.
to get, yeah, I mean, I even tried looking at a satellite image like I did with Howard.
Yeah,
And when it's here, I could
I've
not
heard about it.
see it.
yeah, we probably could. show
And
you.
so, if we can get the GPS coordinates for that, that would be great. But like, okay, let's go back up here to Juniper Haven. So if you click on Juniper Haven,
So the main page, is that Juniper Haven or is that a stock picture too?
it's a stock picture.
Oh, darn.
I tried to
think
pick
those are pretty.
photography and stock photos that looked like our
Yeah,
cemetery.
it did look like it.
But
Actually,
we have the long write-up
it's
from
pretty
Mr.
good.
Lent.
So I'll tell you what, if you keep that Howard one, a lot of people are gonna be wanting to go there because that is beautiful.
Steve Lent did give us some write-ups on the individual ones, like that one is Juniper Haven. Howard is not very long, but it is there. So it just kind of gives the history of it and
Sure.
everything, tells
Sure,
where it
nice.
is.
Very nice.
I need stuff for the services page. I'm not sure what we want in there. Then, I
Might-
think the history page we can get rid of since I put the history on each individual
Sure.
cemetery.
You might on services look what is listed on other web pages. I mean, because it depends on the person's denomination,
And-
really.
It kind of depends on the location too. Like we have a columbarium at Prineville and Pal Butte, but we don't have one at Howard. You could maybe scatter people's ashes up there, but there's no actual spot to put someone's ashes, so to speak, unless they buy a plot. Then, we have our board meetings page, lists previous board meetings or today's.
Good.
Board members.
I recognize that picture.
I do too. That's your soil and water thing.
It is
Yeah,
That's, I think, with what was that from? From,
sage grouse.
I was gonna say it was sage grouse.
hey,
Okay.
I found it online. I went, hey, that's Gary.
Perfect.
And then mine, I didn't have a recent picture, so that's when I did it at a concert a few years ago.
Yeah.
It works. Okay, with that, as you will see below your stuff, you have a new email address. Yay! So, Susan, there is your login. Gary. And then Craig, yours is just gonna stay the same.
Good for you.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain to me what my password is after the W. Is that two things
It could be.
after the W?
It's gibberish usually. And if you want, I can forward you guys the email so you can copy and paste. It would help if I put my glasses on.
Is that a W and that
That, it's a W
exclamation? point I?
exclamation point I, yeah,
Okay.
lowercase I.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Like I said, I can forward you guys the emails if you want them and
That
then you
might
can
be
just
really
copy paste. So there's us, then, like I said, it's same thing. If you click like on Susan's, you get the biography and the bigger picture.
Hopefully nobody wants to.
So staff, so far, the only person to get me a picture is Craig.
Look at you.
We need Frank's and Dave's for sure. We have a calendar, which has today's board meeting on it. And then Craig is gonna learn how to start posting services in here. So
Good.
people can see,
Good.
Nice.
But it won't be, I mean, just to prepare you, it's typically not gonna be very full. Like we don't usually have too many on the board that
That's okay.
aren't like, but a week before typically, yeah, but,
which is fine.
oh yeah, so on.
It's
And I'll
just, in
upload
case
that.
somebody wants to know, hey, when's Uncle Bob's service?
Do people call you a lot?
Yeah, yeah, quite a bit. For a guy that hates the phone, like, yeah.
We have a news and notices page. So like, when you guys are getting ready to do the cleanup up at Howard, we could post a notice on here that says, hey, we're getting ready to
And
do this.
for holidays, like some of the, like the
Right.
flag ceremony on the 4th of July and.
Right, or closures like at Christmas,
Yep.
New Year's.
And you can get in to do all that.
I will be able
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
I'm sure I
Um,
can now. I just haven't
For,
figured it out.
if he can't,
Yep.
for me, it's like super easy. Additional resources, I've started posting meeting documents, like we have our request to speak form. We have our rules of decorum. We have our, cemetery rules down here. I can start posting, the videos on here once we figure out how to do it.
Okay, that's good.
I've been playing with it and it does not like Zoom, but I have a meeting with them on Thursday. So we're gonna get that all ironed out and figured out, once and for all. Then we have our contact us form over here.
Are we on Zoom right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, but we can't see it up there?
No, because I haven't hooked my computer to the TV.
Is
Oh.
anybody on Zoom with us?
Yes, Steve is, Shara is, and I believe Prime Bill Review is. Let's look. Right there. Yep. Steve's waving. Shara and Prime Bill Review are there. So, we have our address, there if they want to come in person. PO box if they want to send us a letter, or the contact us form, which will go to the public comment email. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, I need the services. I'm gonna get rid of the history page and probably the facts page. I don't think we need it. Unless you guys can think of something you want to put there.
I think you've done a very good job.
Yep, I do too.
I
And
don't
then
know how you do it, but
Oh.
it's a very good job.
okay, district boundaries. I could not find a district map, so I cheated. I went to Google and did a Crook County map. And then I plotted all of the cemeteries that I had coordinates for
that are in
Um,
the district.
that are in the district on the map. Like I said, I don't have anything for Maori, so I couldn't put it on there.
Do we still sell plots for Maori?
I, not, that I know of.
Cause I'm wondering, because Maori was the people that were at the stagecoach stop, I'm wondering if that is just not,
No, you,
that's I wonder, does Steve Lent, did he say anything about the Maori?
you just
he-
buried somebody there
Oh, they did?
less than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I heard that there was one like maybe 6 years ago or
A
so,
couple.
but I don't even have like records, or I don't have
You
on
don't
my
even have a
laptop.
plot, you don't
Yeah.
have a plot,
No,
thing of it or
don't.
whatever?
I don't, not that I found, no. So,
I asked Velda about it to see if she could had anything.
Sure.
And she said that it's not one they really use at all, if very often. So,
yeah, I kind of heard it was like a family plot.
Yeah,
some
more of a
sort
family-
plot, but
family thing. I
I
mean,
always heard it was the stagecoach station, that's where when they came, if they were, I guess, dead in the stagecoach, that's where they put them, I don't know.
that's a lovely thought.
Well,
I, you know, I mean, I can add it on there if you guys want me to,
I think-
but
what I think, what probably happened was it was probably a family, and the last one that was they contracted out. More or
Yeah.
less, or asked us if we could take care of it for them, is what I'm
Do
guessing.
you go there and weed whack and things?
No, I don't even know where it's at.
You don't?
Like,
Oh.
Dave does, I've looked for it.
Oh, it's
along the
very
way, but-
easy when you're right there on the Schwab Ranch. If you,
Yeah,
I went by and thought, wow, is that a headstone? And then on the way, the next time I went by, I've actually pulled in and looked at it.
Well, me and Dave and I stopped, like the first year I worked here, and we, at a couple different spots that we thought it might be, or that he thought it might be. And we were walking in on private property and,
No, there's the
but,
driveway,
so,
there's a
but he
private.
found,
and
he
then there's
did
a-
find
yeah,
it. He
yeah.
did find it. And he just, I haven't gone up there with, Polina with him, so you could point it out, so.
And if not, when you go, we meet at Polina, I can meet you there too if
Cool.
you want.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it, just to get eyes on.
so, I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Well, if you don't sell any plots there
Yeah.
or anything, I wondered that it would be a disservice to put it on there because people might
Want to.
So,
think, and we don't have any information on it. And you might want to run that by Steve Lent and see what he knows about it.
Cause I would be careful, because if it's within the cemetery district, I mean, this is a fraction of the cemeteries in the county.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh yeah.
These are
So
just
it's
the
a lot.
ones that we
But
take
if
care
they
of.
were established in the cemetery district, I would hate to preclude the ability for somebody to be buried
Yeah.
there if it's established as a part of the cemetery district.
Right.
If it is, but then if it isn't established, if it is a family one
Yeah,
and you went there and you
yeah, but we-
started to dig and there was somebody there,
yeah.
then
Would-
that's a problem also.
Would would like Cheryl Seeley, the county clerk, have record?
I
of
could
that?
ask Cheryl.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I already asked her for any information and they don't have anything.
They don't.
We should have had something.
I'll look around and see,
I'm not making
but
either, but
I mean, I did find a register, like a just handwritten, I don't know how old it was, but it listed and names of people buried in the cemeteries that we aren't in control of. So like Mill Creek, there was a bunch like listed for that, and I'm
Yeah,
sure it was
that
a
was
while ago,
private.
Yeah,
but I did find something along those lines, so, and I might have seen, I'll have to look at that book. It may have said the Maori,
I think that gives you.
because they gave like 7 different cemeteries.
Yeah, people cemeteries.
But I'm just wondering, by putting it on that public page, that you're possibly opening up a
Yeah.
private cemetery that isn't available to
Yeah.
the public. And that would make the appearance of
Yeah.
it being, until we know
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure, I would hate to do that.
I know as far as for our licensing and whatnot, it's just the 4 cemeteries.
is it?
Yeah.
If,
That's all you have
Yeah.
for licensing.
So that is our website.
Yeah, once you know, you see I see the headstones every time I go.
Oh,
but
okay.
I just know where they are.
I have an idea, but I don't like poking around on ranches that,
But it's,
yeah,
there's a driveway to it.
gotcha.
Yeah, you can. I'll
Yeah,
get you that.
you're not on private. There's an actual.
So Steve, are you happy with the webpage? Does it meet all the criteria that we've been, having issues with in the past for
It
public
does.
notice?
Yeah, the next step will be to shut down the Facebook site. And, you could put a legacy message there that says, now refer to the district's permanent website. But I would remove the content from the Facebook site. There's no reason to continue otherwise to have that site. It would be a good public notice to folks that you've relocated the information elsewhere. I'm not suggesting you delete the information, just that you would move it to a new location.
What about putting in the roundup and putting in the Central Oregonian, just a little thing that we now have a website?
I think that's smart.
Okay, I think we should do that.
Yep.
And then that way we try to get the word out the best we can, and I think we
And you
should do
can
that.
post it at the actual cemetery on a flyer or something like that. Just do whatever you can to publicize that that's the new place to look, and make sure that you all use your official cemetery email addresses for cemetery business going forward.
Okay,
And
Do
on
we need-
the other cemetery site that we were just talking about, if it's not within the scope of the existing license, then I would not list it on the website. I think that doesn't.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I would just be afraid that if it is private, then you're making, yeah, we need to research that way more.
Also, so in building the site and getting our web address and everything, I bought two because they were so similar. So we have two URLs in case whatever reason, someone, types in one or the other. If they search for Crook County Cemetery District, that's one of the URLs I bought. It will direct it to that. I also did Crook County Cemeteries. So which one would you guys prefer that we use?
Which one are you using now? Is that?
That's theirs. That's I want to say it, a proxy server.
To get it started.
Yeah, that they use. It's not accessible to the public.
Okay.
It's just accessible to us, so we can go in and build it. Then they'll move it, because I've given them access to the cemetery district's GoDaddy stuff. So that they can migrate it over to the GoDaddy servers.
Can you tell me the two choices again?
It is Crook County Cemeteries, which is shorter, or I put Crook County Cemetery District, and they're both a .com.
I think I just put Crook County Cemetery.
Yeah, I would think so, because a lot of people don't know the district part.
District, yeah.
Heck,
What do you
Right.
think, Gary? Just Crook County Cemetery?
I'm good with that. You'll get, Crook County Wyoming once in a while, but if you know where you're looking for.
Or
you're
the
good.
Cook County.
Yeah,
I tried to get the
Or
holidays
Crook.
this year.
yeah,
Or you put Crook County Cemetery, Oregon.
yep, you got it. Yeah,
So, Jamie, I would suggest considering a .org or I don't know if you can get a .gov, but most other special districts, we use a .org as part of their email address.
okay, I can probably buy the .org.
Do we need any motions for this, Steve?
No, I don't think you do. I think you've already passed a motion to go ahead and take down the new site and get it up and running, so you should be fine.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so moving on, we come to our bylaws discussion and vote. So last meeting, I gave you guys all the example bylaws that what ours could look like with the North Unit stuff. And you guys have had a chance to read through it. And so what do we all think?
so I read through the North Unit. I don't know that a lot of it's gonna pertain to a public So I did take the time to go on to the bylaws for the state of Oregon cemetery districts.
Mhm.
And they do have a really nice set of bylaws and we could add to. So I don't know if that's something, Steve, are you familiar with that?
Are you talking about the Cemetery District Association bylaws, Gary?
They are a statute in the state of Oregon. They have a statute for cemetery districts.
Yeah.
And it is the chapter 265 cemetery maintenance districts.
Yeah.
2023 edition. And if anybody wants to look at it, I have the deal here and it pretty much goes through elections, formation. We want to change the board. Is that something that would be worth looking into, just to copy and paste and then add what we need to it?
Yeah, basically, the reason to have bylaws is to help with continuity when you have leadership changes so that everything is sort of in one place instead of having to use a lawyer or refer to the statutes every time or something like that. A good set of bylaws will just reference the statute because it can change. And so, yeah, I provided you the North Unit example just as a way to see what some bylaws could look like and what it might cover. But finding something that is apropos to cemetery districts makes it a much smaller lift from my perspective to get something up and running if that's what you'd like to do.
I didn't follow the last part of that.
I was just saying that to the extent that you've found a template that is specific to cemetery districts as bylaws, then the effort of substituting the name of your district and adding any specifics in addition to what's on the template, that would be a easier task than starting from scratch.
Okay, because this is state statutes is what I'm getting this from.
Okay.
It's not specific to us or any other cemetery district. It is purely just. And I'm just putting it out there, because I knew we needed to start someplace.
Okay, so when you're saying you're looking at the statutes, are you actually looking at the actual statute, or are you looking at a set of bylaws that are based on the statute?
Nope, they're, at least what I could see, the state legislation puts them out.
Okay,
They do their statutes, and it's 265 is what the chapter is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that help any?
Yeah, it does. It gives you a head start onto what you would put in there. Chapter 198 is the special district statute that also governs a lot of what you do. There are very few districts that seem to have adopted bylaws, and I think instead most of them just have either a board policy book that has some guidance in it, or they just refer to the statutes most of the time. So it really is, this is certainly not something that's required by law in this case. It's more a question of having a very solid guidance document so that you know how to run the district if you have turnover in leadership, which is not a bad idea.
And I'm fine with whatever. I mean, I assume you're gonna draw something up.
I can do that. If you would like to authorize me to spend time on that at this point, I can have that ready for the next meeting.
What do you guys wanna do?
I think the bylaws are something we need. There's too many questions of how should we do this and how should we do that?
Yep.
And I think it would give us a starting point of what to refer to.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. I think, yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Then I make a motion to have our attorney, Mr. Shropshire, draft up a set of draft bylaws for us to review at the next meeting.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Hardwick, aye.
Bidortha, aye.
Would I, motion passes. So Steve, would you draft us up a set of bylaws to look over?
Will do.
Thank you, sir. Next thing on our lovely agenda is the media policy. I sent you guys the Oregon City's policy about a week ago for you guys to read through. It has parts for executive session and et cetera.
So these came from you, Steve?
If it says Crook County Cemetery Improvement District at the very top, then yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just forwarded your email straight to them,
Okay.
so.
So yes, as we've talked about in the past, this is to the, other than changing the references to cities to district. This is essentially the direct use of the League of Oregon Cities sample news media attendance policy for executive session template document.
So I did read it, looks good. I mean, it really is just protecting the boards and it protects the media. Both, it looks to me like. And I do have a question on page 2 of your executive session news media attendance policy,
Mhm.
paragraph A. Little bit of the very last wording is may require. Should it not be more definitive? So they need to require at least one of these bullet points, 1 through 4. And the only reason I ask that is because you, on the media representative application you sent out, I think it's the last paragraph, you require that select all that applies. So is that making a little bit of sense?
Yep.
Oh, and also on that same paragraph, city needs to be changed to
Oh, great.
District.
catch.
district, yeah.
Yeah, good catch.
So did that make any sense what I said?
It does. So I think what I would, right now it's disjunctive, so it's 1 or 2 or 3, and there should be an or after 3 as well. So, but I think what we could write, or what you're suggesting, Gary, is it would say the district requires 1 or more of the following, or
Yeah.
all of the following. It just depends what you want to do.
Well, if we're gonna put it in line with the application, it should be at least one of the following, or
Okay.
check those that apply. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion.
Other than that, it looked good to me.
Okay. So. We need a motion to adopt this.
You need to open the opportunity for public comment.
We didn't receive any, requests to speak today. On either just the general public comment or this. So do you still want me to open it or no?
No, you just need to be on the record that you didn't receive any speaking requests.
We did not a single one.
Okay,
So, all right, I guess then that means we need a motion. Guys, you're gonna make me do it, aren't you?
But Dorothy should make it. You were the one that was talking about it.
I'll make a motion that we accept the media policies, both application and attendance policies with the changes
As discussed.
As discussed.
as discussed.
I will second that motion.
All those in favor?
Rick, aye.
Bedortha, aye.
Would I? Motion passes. We now have a media policy.
I will prepare a final version that cleans up those items and get it back to you in the form of a PDF.
Awesome. And then I will turn the application into an online or into a fillable form and post that to our shiny new website.
Okay, so just by way of procedure, I think what my suggestion would be here is that we actually have a resolution approving the final version of this at your next meeting. Because
Okay.
ideally, all your policies should be adopted by resolution. So I'll take this as a vote for me to go ahead and finalize it, and then we'll bring it back to the next meeting. And at that point, we'll have the resolution adopting the policy.
Awesome.
Okay.
Would you like a motion for that? So moved?
I feel like I've got the authority I need at this point.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so the next item on our agenda is updates on past projects. First up, anybody have any more ideas on the SDAO historic grant? Because the deadline is screaming up upon us as of April 9th.
There's still, I mean, a number of things that we could use it for, but specifically, I'd say fencing. Fencing up at like, at Paulina,
At Beaver
at
Creek.
Beaver Creek, for sure.
I did notice the fence the other day. I've been hauling hay by it and it's a little tireder from the elk.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You know, I wonder if we reached out to the local chapter of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, if they would help us with that.
They might.
I actually know a local member. Maybe I'll give him a call.
ODFW would probably.
Yeah, definitely ODFW would.
And I can talk to Greg Jackal on that.
Okay, so you tackle ODFW, I'll tackle REMF.
I'll tackle a materials list.
Okay.
And material for a design.
And if you need to meet up there, I will be.
Yeah, cool. I know the front has been bad, but it's the side that was,
And it's about down now.
yeah. I bet.
It's funny how elk can just tear a fence apart.
Yeah.
I mean, like the way you designed at your house
Mhm.
in the front, I like that. That look,
The 6x6s and then
like the
the
hog panel.
hog panel and then the 8x
Looks
2x8 over the top.
Yeah,
And then there's barbed wire over the top of that.
I mean, like, I think the beefier the fence, but not too high, like we want the elk to be able to get over it, but not the cows get in, so. Whatever height that is, yeah, I'll go ask the elk, see
Yeah.
what height they prefer, maybe.
You bet.
Yeah. I mean, that bull and sisters last year, he didn't abide by that height restriction for cows. He leaped it pretty fast.
Yeah.
If they want to get in.
Yeah.
They get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty determined. Do we want to do, since you say there's so much other stuff that we could do with that grant money, do we want to take a buckshot battle plan and just file, put grants requests in for everything? That's a lot of work, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's a wide range of the scope of work that can be done under the grant. And so it's hard to like pinpoint one specific
One
thing that does,
Yeah.
that justifies using grant money for, you know what I mean?
And
Like, that's my problem with
yeah, and
that.
if you don't feel it's a good fit for you and the district this year, it is okay to pass.
I mean, like,
But that's
I hate
your
for,
recommendation to
Yeah.
us. I mean, if you feel that, you don't have enough under your belt on the deal yet or whatever, but it's okay to pass on that.
right.
I mean, the deadline is coming up.
Yeah,
fast. And so it is, and it is pretty thorough. I read through that grant, like what they require for the most part. It's pretty tough, but it just kind of snuck up on me because I've known about that grant for a little while. But it's hard to turn down free money. I like free money.
It is, but you have to have the use for it
Yeah.
and the ability and time to get the project done in that timeframe.
I mean, I got plenty of projects, but
Yeah, I was wondering too, of bathrooms at Pal Butte, that wouldn't be something.
no, that would be, and now that I drew a blank on that one. That would be huge. Like to do a holding tank and two
Yes.
two
That would have been my
standalones. like-
second, that would have been my second thing that I would think about, and there is no bathrooms there.
Yeah,
And you're expanding, but that, like what Gary's saying, is you might wait till you have your expansion. And now you have an expansion there, and now, you know,
Mhm.
there's a need for that. So does this grant come up every?
Yeah,
year?
I mean, there's grants throughout the
So
year.
that would be really
Numerous.
good. You have an expansion,
Mhm,
you're doing X amount of burials there per month,
mhm,
and you have no restroom facilities.
mhm.
And then you could, you know, that would be a real good tie-in.
Gotcha. Yeah, oh yeah, and it totally would. It's embarrassing, but like not, yeah, without the bathrooms up
Well,
there.
yeah,
when we
because
have the big-
what would someone do? Basically,
Yeah,
is there any
Find the
trees
oh,
there?
yeah, they
Find a
they go
tree.
behind the shed.
Yeah, but you know what I'm
But,
trying to
yeah,
say?
it's
There would
terrible to
be-
have a woman like in a nice dress and like she's asking where the restroom is. You're like,
That- Yeah, that would be,
It's
that would be
terrible.
a very, very good use of money, and I
Yeah.
think people would realize that. And now that you're expanding, you get that expansion, now that would be
Mhm.
the next logical
And
thing.
it's the way I envision it, where and how it would just like
And you
finish
could
it
write,
off.
you could write all of that up.
Yeah.
And do that. So
Gotcha.
that would be
Yeah,
my
just
next thing that I would think of.
gotcha.
And then you could use Rocky Mountain Elk or ODF and W for fencing.
For fencing, yeah. I'm pretty sure that ODFW or REMF, or even the Oregon Hunters Association would definitely be interested in that project. Yeah.
But I think the restrooms would be a really good.
Yeah, no, that's a priority for sure too. That I just,
Back in your ballpark.
yep.
Back in your wheelhouse.
But
Yeah.
again, like Gary says, maybe not this year, but you do your
Yeah.
expansion.
I'm gonna
You've
try,
got
I'm gonna
that
try to put
slated.
stuff together
Yep,
for
if
this,
not,
for this.
it's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we're here to support you.
We've come a long ways. We've got, and we'll just come even longer ways next year.
Gotcha.
Our expectation might be higher next year.
We definitely have come a long way.
Nope, that's.
Things were at this time last year. Okay, next thing, still in Craig and Gary's wheelhouse, paving.
Got a note here, we're supposed to go meet with the roadmaster to see about piggybacking on some paving projects.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Along that note, I did find in Redmond a guy that's selling the ground up asphalt for pretty cheap and like, and what we're thinking is the shops, like doing the floors of the shops in that.
Wonder,
I want to say he could deliver and everything. I think it was like eight hundred and some dollars for 27 yards.
Who is it with?
I would have to look it up, but it's
R7A.
maybe may have been that. Forget what his name was.
So
There's
if it
also that-
is, I will recuse myself from any of the.
Voting.
Yeah, and this is just, all I was thinking is just, and
Nope, I-
instead of the bags of asphalt that we
Yeah.
used to buy in the past for patching, like that would be a great patch
Yeah.
on some of the existing. I guess, I don't know, I don't know much about asphalt, but
for inside the shop, would it be, I'm just throwing this out there. What about the new rubberized asphalt? That's made from the ground up tires?
It's gonna cost you some money.
Oh,
So
okay.
you don't want cement in the shop for rollers and things like that? Smoothing? Just asking.
not, well, cement would work, but it'd be a lot. And
The
I don't,
The trouble with your ground up asphalt is I had a mile long driveway of ground up asphalt, but then you put oil on it on a hot day, and eventually it will seal up and be like asphalt. But otherwise, it's just gonna be ground up asphalt.
gotcha,
So you either pave it or you do cement,
gotcha.
and
Okay,
that's how you're gonna have a hard surface.
What do you have now?
dirt. It's just dirt.
So it would be like having gravel in.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. So I agree with Gary, you'd either want, if you want to lay in it,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
If you wanna lay flat and work on something underneath, or you want us to roll on it, if you want a board, you're on your back and you wanna roll under it, then you don't want that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, you didn't.
You want cement or you want asphalt. So
Gotcha.
you might actually, if you're gonna talk about paving, you might go over there and ask what it would take if you,
To do.
to patch that in there.
Okay.
Figure out where you would need that and do that. But ground up cement or asphalt is just like putting gravel in.
Okay.
It's
See, I-
good,
I-
it's good material.
I
We
just
used
don't
it all the
know. I
time.
know better on that.
We used it all the time. That was my driveway because at the time, people didn't understand what ground up asphalt could be used for, but we had oil trucks, so my husband would send the oil trucks over and eventually it was like regular asphalt.
Gotcha. Yeah,
But for what you.
yeah, I wasn't sure. I figured there was something more to it than
You
just
know.
rolling it or compacting
And
it down.
could you put it in a pothole, hole, and then oil it? Yeah, you could, but
Mhm.
I don't know that I just wouldn't get hot mix or cold mix and stick it in there instead.
So is getting something done with the shop floor is a priority to you?
Yeah, well, no, it's not on the top of the list, but it'd be nice to have.
Well, I know.
It's in the
we
shop
talked
right
about
that we
maybe
walked in
the
where the first
future,
shop
but
next to the
I would
office.
like to see a bid from both.
The small one? Yeah.
Versus.
Just a
Versus
truck, and then there was a.
No, I meant
Well,
the
and
door.
me, I like to
Well,
do
where the
things
truck was
in-house
parked, it
and
was
save
gravel,
money.
but on the other side where all that
That
stuff was
It's something
just
that
dirt.
we could do on our own, you
Yeah.
know, doing like
The other two
spreading
shops
that,
were dirt
compacting
floors.
it down.
Yeah.
That's at least in my mind is what I thought.
Yeah.
But, and like, as far as cement goes, I mean, I can form, but
Well, we could
I'm
just hire
not a
contractor
pouring person.
To do it all, though. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where a bid maybe to see what asphalt versus cement would be.
I can do that
You
though.
know, what's
for
the
sure.
long-term viability?
Do you
of both?
change the oil in your trucks or service your tractors? Do you do that?
Not out in the shops. Not in the big like equipment shop, no. But if we do it, we'll do it in the main shop off the office.
So I guess I'm confused.
What is the floor in the main shop of the office?
It's cement,
Okay.
because it's just a garage,
So that is cement.
Yeah, in there, off the,
I
but
was trying to think, I couldn't
You're-
remember. what I
You're
was
talking your machine.
yeah,
sheds, you
talking
want-
the big shop.
I got
Then
you
you
now.
wanna, I would pay.
There's the little shop that's
Yep.
behind the office,
would
and then
pay
there's the big shop.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would pay that.
and you
Gary.
work in the little shop.
You would pay that.
Yeah, like when we do normal little maintenance
Yep.
stuff, yeah.
I would ask when they're paving, how much it would be to pave them.
I will try to get with you and go to the.
Okay,
Make
Sounds good.
appointment with the road.
Tell
fund.
Brad to give you a really good deal. And I would have to recluse.
Well, hopefully
recuse
we
myself
can
on that.
piggyback on something they've got going on.
that would be sweet. We'll have to talk to him. I would go talk to him, but I don't know, and I don't wanna.
You can.
I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I don't wanna be, hey, just like, I don't know, I would.
What I'm
It's
gonna
easy,
say,
it's easier to approach if I'm with somebody that kinda knows somebody, maybe, I don't know.
If you would like, I could set up an appointment for you guys. I can have Brianna do that for you.
yep, go ahead and do it. I'll just make it work. Monday afternoon at the next cemetery board meeting. That work for you, or in the morning of the cemetery meeting?
Yeah, I'll make that work.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
We might get something off of our updates.
Onward and upward. The next thing is new business. We need to schedule a budget committee meeting date, but we also need to recruit members of the public to be a part of that meeting. It's going to be obviously a public meeting, and this one has to be separate from our other meeting. So, in April, we would have 2 meetings, basically, so that we can post the budget. It has to run for, I believe, 30 days, and has to be done by June.
So we need some public people.
Yes, ma'am.
And do we all three meet plus the public?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
And Shara will bring copies of the budget and we go through it and, see what,
And if we can't get public to be involved, we're still within our parameter to approve the budget.
No,
Steve?
Yeah, you can
No.
go forward. You're supposed to have one member of the public for each elected member, if you can do so. But, but there are districts that have like 17, 18 board members. So it makes it impossible, of course, to get that many public members to participate. So, ideally though, yeah, you'd want to find 3 people who would be willing to step up. And they
And that's
can't
what
be
I said,
random.
if we can't find 3 people, can we still move forward?
So
Yeah.
everybody bring.
Yeah,
what friend do I dislike the most?
I don't know if that's gonna help us out much.
So technically we need 3, but you know, at least 1.
Let's see what.
And then when do we want to have the next meeting or the budget meeting? Grab my calendar. I don't want to do it.
Need to bring a friend.
Okay, I'll just plug it into my phone and put it on the other calendar later. Apparently it's sitting there with the other stuff that I forgot to bring today. Can't believe I did that.
So we're looking for a date for our next meeting.
Yes.
So that's April.
I believe we set our April meeting for the 21st. Cause it had Shara asked if it could be after tax day. And please feel free to jump in here, Shara, and correct me if I'm wrong.
So the 14th won't work, will it?
Probably not.
I have a meeting that day in Prineville.
At 1:00?
Could we do it the Friday, the 25th?
Huh?
25th on Friday.
Yeah, do it on,
We're not doing it then the 21st?
we can't. It has to be separate from the other meeting.
Oh, so we're not worried about those, so we're doing it the 25th, okay?
so just to be clear, you can adjourn the board meeting and then convene a budget committee meeting. You can do them back to back. You just can't, it's not
Can we?
nested inside.
Okay,
Okay.
I just didn't know if our members of the public were gonna want to sit through a board meeting and then do the budget meeting.
They can come
That's-
in.
Yeah,
They
I
can
think
just
you
show up
can,
after.
yeah, you can give notice accordingly, but that's kind of the way it's supposed to work.
Okay,
When is our next meeting?
the 21st.
Right, so we're having a meeting the 21st?
We're having a meeting the 21st. That's our actual next board meeting.
Okay.
Then-
Now you're,
then-
okay, I was on the 21st, but now you switched to the 25th.
Steve
Okay.
threw a monkey wrench. in it.
Okay.
I think
Steve,
Um,
we're again.
back is a good deal. Steve makes a good.
Okay,
suggestion.
Yeah, so we can
So-
do it back to back. So, then after the regular budget meeting or regular board meeting,
at
we would
1.
do the budget meeting.
Okay, so do you think we can keep the regular board meeting for an hour and then start the budget meeting at 2?
Sure,
Perfect.
we can just, at the next meeting, we can just take care of old business and then skip over any new business and just go right into the budget meeting.
Budget.
So how do we? Did we just have somebody show up, or do we have to do a formality to this to get a?
We have
on the
to-
Budget committee.
We have to do a public and
Yeah, you just appoint them to the committee and then they can come. You don't have to.
When do we appoint
Do
them?
we appoint them at the cemetery meeting that's from 1 to 2, and then they can come at 2, and then at 2 they come?
It's actually less formal than that. You just have to essentially have 3 electors who are willing to serve on the budget committee. So you don't have to officially vote them in or anything like that.
They can just show up the day of.
Yep.
This is who I picked for my, okay,
Could they be a relative?
As long as they're an elector of the district, then yes.
I thought it would be good to teach my daughter about these things, but nope, she's not an elector of the district, okay. Okay, I know who I'll ask.
Okay. All right, so then budget meeting, April 21st at 2. Sharon, does that work for you?
Oh, it has to work for you because I can't. Yeah.
Okay, Cheryl says that works.
Way too.
Steve, does that work for you?
It does.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
actually.
and I'm
Yay.
gonna set up a meeting. So do you want a meeting that morning then for the group?
Yes, we had to do them separate, and I have a meeting that week, the 14th, and so that's why I was gonna say it, budget meeting the 14th.
But we can't because of taxes.
Right. Well, Shara's buried, so
Yeah.
So do you want me to try to get you a roadmaster meeting on the 14th?
Nope, the 21st, because that's our next board meeting.
the morning of the 21st.
Okay, I will ask Brianna, okay.
But if the
Brianna.
14th works for you, I mean, I can make it work.
Well, you're getting me to town an awful lot.
So you want it on April 21st?
Yeah, so maybe at 11 o'clock. If you can make that work.
11 a.m.
that's-
with Brad. Okay.
I'll pick you up.
I'll keep my mouth shut
That
and
road.
it won't, and it'll work.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe he'll be on vacation, whatever, but I will ask her to see if we can get that done for you.
That's unacceptable.
Right.
I'm just like,
So I'll pick you up about 11:15. It
Well,
sounds.
you know, you just have to go across the
I
street.
know, tend to, but this way.
Okay, I just wanted to
I'm
make sure. that
scared
you
to
know.
cross the streets. I'm
Okay.
scared to cross. the
No, you
streets.
just have to go
Especially
across
that
the
one.
Yeah.
street. Okay,
Yeah, you might not ever get across that
Yeah.
one.
All right. Well, since we did not receive any requests to speak forms today, that's next on our agenda, but we don't have any. So are there any board member comments?
No.
Yes, no?
if I have to change my calendar one more time, I can't do it.
Okay. Susan's at her limit of changing.
And Susie, you will let us know if you were able to,
Yes.
for 11 o'clock or
Yes.
whatever works, okay?
What is your number, Craig?
541 213-0270.
213-07-0270.
0270.
Okay.
All right, that is all we have. So the meeting is now adjourned.
I was trying to like
Thank you,
keep
Steve.
it kind of
You're
low.
welcome. You guys have a good.
Sarah, thank you
I get
also.
enough phone calls.
Okay.
Hey,